Hey everybody, and welcome back or welcome to another one of my videos. My name is Lauren Porter and you're watching Quarters with Porter. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about the Atlanta Falcons head coach search, because this search has been a wild one. As we all know, former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, Arthur Smith, was fired after that embarrassing loss to the New Orleans Saints. The firing of Arthur Smith did not bring the Falcons fandom together. Instead, it has pushed the Atlanta Falcons fandom away, with fans being upset, saying they won't be fans of the team anymore. All sorts of crazy things over who the Atlanta Falcons might hire. As of today, the Atlanta Falcons have interviewed 15 possible new head coaches, with a few of them getting second interviews, but we're gonna get into all of that in today's video. So be sure to keep watching if you wanna know who the next Falcons head coach might be. The Atlanta Falcons are in no rush to select our next head coach, and I completely love that for us. I don't think there should be a rush. I mean, we have a lot of time until we get into next football season, so they have time to select a coach. Our next head coach will be our 19th head coach in franchise history, and hopefully this coach can stay with us longer than 3 years. Let's get into the first coach that has caused so much controversy and just so much within the fandom and within the media, with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is one of the most decorated NFL coaches in history, if not the most decorated NFL coach. He has 6 Super Bowl wins with the New England Patriots and 8 Super Bowls overall with former teams. Bill Belichick was the instant favorite to become the next Atlanta Falcons head coach, and this had split feelings between the fandom. Half the fans were excited to have a coach like Bill Belichick, who has won so many Super Bowls. The other half did not want this washed old man as their coach. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of on the other half of the fandom who did not want Bill Belichick as our next coach, and let me tell y'all why. I understand Bill Belichick's legacy. I understand the type of coach he is. But honestly, I feel like for the Atlanta Falcons team that we have, I think we need something new, something fresh for our offense. And I want a long-term franchise coach who's going to be with us for years and years and years, like Mike Tomlin with the Steelers. I don't want to get a coach who's going to be with us, like I said, for another 3 years and then either retire or, you know, get fired, move on to a different team. I don't want that. We need a franchise coach to match with these future franchise players. Bill Belichick has been in the media so much regarding his interviews with the Atlanta Falcons. He was the first interviewee to get 2 interviews with the Atlanta Falcons, with one of those interviews being a one-on-one with Arthur Blank. After that one-on-one interview with Arthur Blank, everyone thought that Bill Belichick was a shoe-in to be the next Atlanta Falcons head coach. But today, the Bill Belichick to Atlanta rumors have been put to a halt. Talks have started to slow down. There is rumors that he is actually not the front runner anymore for the head coach position. I know this makes a lot of fans excited, me included. No shade to Bill Belichick. Like I said, amazing coach, amazing legacy, but I just do not see him as the head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. But if he does end up becoming the head coach for the Atlanta Falcons, welcome to Atlanta, Bill. Honestly, I think that these talks have been put to a halt because the Falcons were probably thinking like, oh, this should be our guy. But as they started talking to more teams, they have decided this might not be our guy. Some of these guys who they've been talking to includes Jim Harbaugh, who is the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, who just recently won the college football national championship. Jim was the second coach to get 2 interviews after Bill Belichick, and the rumors are that these interviews are going great. Honestly, Jim is my top pick for the next Atlanta Falcons head coach. I can just really see him developing this team and making us into playoff contenders. The Atlanta Falcons have the players, you know, besides the quarterback, we have the players to turn us into a playoff contender team. We just need that right head coach that's going to help develop us and get us to that next level. And I feel like Jim Harbaugh has the skills to develop this team. Jim is another front runner for the next Atlanta Falcons head coach position, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens as these weeks continue to go on. Another front runner for the position is Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. A lot of fans, just like Jim Harbaugh, are very into the possibility of Ben Johnson becoming the next head coach. Ben Johnson is another coach that was also granted a second interview. I really like this option with Ben Johnson as well. Hey y'all, this is actually Lauren from the future, because while I was editing, I realized I forgot to talk about Houston's offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick. Bobby was another notable interview, so I wanted to go a little bit deeper into what happened with that, because the Falcons said that they were very impressed by his interview. He was another coach who received a second interview after his first one, and this is another option that is great for the Falcons because the Houston Texans just went to the divisional round of the NFL playoffs with a rookie quarterback. And yes, CJ Stroud is very talented, but think of all the other rookie quarterbacks that went in this year that are also very talented that didn't make it to the playoffs, let alone make it to the divisional round. And it's the fact that they lost to the Ravens. It's not like they just lost to anybody. They lost to the Ravens. The Falcons said that Bobby impressed them, so he is another top candidate for who can be the next Atlanta Falcons head coach. Now let's get back into the video. Ravens defensive coordinator Mike McDonald was also granted a second interview, as well as Detroit's defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn. I'm liking what I'm seeing with the pattern with these second interviews is that a lot of these coaches are very winning coaches. Another interesting person that the Atlanta Falcons have interviewed is the defensive coordinator for the Rams, Raheem Morris. This interview is interesting because he was a former interim head coach for the Atlanta Falcons, so bringing him back as head coach would be like a funny coincidence. Now I'm just going to read off some of the other coaches who the Atlanta Falcons have interviewed but have not received second interviews as of now. These coaches include Bills quarterback coach Joe Brady, Ravens assistant Anthony Weaver. Please forgive me if I screw these names up. Like, I am not good with names, but we have former Titans head coach Mike Vrabel. Hope I said that right. Panthers defensive coordinator, I'm just gonna put his name right here because I'm not even gonna try. Like, I'm not even gonna mess his name up like that. Y'all, when I'm like a famous sports broadcaster, I promise I'm gonna learn how to pronounce all of these names. Then we have Ravens defensive coordinator Steve Wilks. I feel like the one coach that the Atlanta Falcons have interviewed where I was just like, no thank you, is Eagles offensive coordinator Brian Johnson. Like, Brian, please just stay with the Eagles. We all saw the Eagles' downfall, especially offensively at the end of this NFL season, also in the playoffs. And that's just something I want no parts of. Overall, how are we feeling about these Atlanta Falcons interviews, y'all? Leave a comment down below on who y'all want to be the next Atlanta Falcons head coach. This finding a coach journey could end very soon, and it could also end in months down the line. I'm excited to see who is going to be the next head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. You know, hopefully it's going to be a great franchise coach who we get to have for seasons and seasons and seasons, who can even have the same legacy as Bill Belichick, even though I don't want Bill Belichick. Whoever's next as the Atlanta Falcons head coach, I just have one request. Please bring us a Super Bowl. Keep rising up, y'all, even though the season is over. But the season may be over, but the future is definitely bright. I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.